The Northern Hemisphere, home to 90% of the world's population, has just entered fall and will be heading towards winter. For oil and energy markets, going into the fall and winter has always had implications because of seasonal consumption patterns. This year, the pandemic, as well as unusual patterns in inventory and production levels, add new layers of uncertainty. For starters, transportation demand remains far below normal. Data from tracktherecovery.org, which looks at consumer spending patterns almost in real time, shows that transportation spending in the United States remains about 45% below last year's levels. The airline industry, which normally uses about 10% of the world's oil, is seeing passenger traffic at about 70% lower than normal. Based on a number of U.S. Transportation Security Administration passenger screenings. After a period of reopening the economy in late spring and early summer, some nations are reversing course. Israel, for example, is back in lockdown mode, as are large parts of Spain. The United Kingdom is encouraging residents to work from home for another 6 months and may implement a second lockdown in October. The pandemic continues to course through parts of the United States, France, India, and many other nations. How the pandemic evolves through the rest of fall and winter could have huge implications for energy demand. Oil suppliers are keenly aware of the situation, having suffered from a steep fall in prices during the second quarter. During the third quarter, the world's oil producers were able to match supply and demand much more closely, stabilizing prices by cutting production. U.S. production, for instance, is down by more than 20% from its high, and the same is true for Saudi Arabia and Russia. Matching supply with demand in the fourth quarter will be an enormous challenge since energy demand remains an uncertainty. Oil inventory follows a seasonal pattern, typically picking up in the late winter and early spring, and then falling through the summer driving season. This year, the peak came later than usual, and inventories of crude oil remain exceptionally high compared to recent years. Inventories of ultra-low sulfur diesel also remain well above levels in 2017, 18, or 19, suggesting that diesel fuel and heating oil are in abundant supply heading into the winter. In fact, among the major oil products, only gasoline inventories have returned towards seasonal norms, but even they are somewhat above average. I'm Eric Norland, Senior Economist with the CME Group in London.